Okay, welcome back to Physical Science Online. Today we're going to go over our one equation. We only have one this time around for waves. It was in the notes, and it is the speed of the wave. So you're going to be expected to be able to calculate the speed of the wave if given the frequency. F stands for frequency, and lambda stands for wavelength. I think I said that wrong in my notes. I think I thought it was sigma. It's lambda. Greek alphabet. Not familiar with it. It's fine. Funny symbol. Or you can even be perfectly fine doing WL wavelength. Going to help you out this time around a little bit more by giving you a life skill as to how to do these three variable equations. We discovered that the biggest struggle last unit was rearranging them and getting them out of the first version. Remember, we only give the first version for test day. And rearranging it was the part that some of you struggle with. It wasn't the math itself. It wasn't plugging things in. It was rearranging the equation. So here's a quick little trick for that. It's called the triangle method. Basically, making sure you can still see me, you set up a little triangle off to the side with these symbols on it. You do the multiplication between the bottom ones. And up here you do a divided by symbol. If you have a three variable equation, you just plug everything in off of that first version. So I got multiplication between these two, means that those two, frequency and lambda, are going to go on the bottom. I'll show you towards the end if I have time how you do that if it wasn't multiplication to start. And velocity is my odd one out, so it goes in the remaining spot. And it's a really quick way to get the different versions of these three variable equations. You basically just cover up the unknown or the one that you don't know. So let's say I didn't know frequency. I cover the frequency up, and I all of a sudden get that frequency F equals V divided by lambda, because that's all that's left. So that'd be one version of my equation. F equals V divided by lambda. Velocity divided by wavelength. If I don't know wavelength, I would cover up wavelength, and I would get another version of my equation, wavelength equals velocity divided by frequency. And of course, the base equation comes out of this as well. If I don't know V, I get V equals F times lambda. This little method would really help those of you that struggle with these equations, learning how to transfer these equations over into the triangle. Will really help you with the rearranging, because I've proven it through our test data that when you have the equation, it was 98% of people got the question right. That was just based on the base equation. I think we got that process down. It's just getting those other versions, which the triangle method here should help you out with. So there you go on the triangle method. Units, said chickens are really important now that we're up to a couple equations, especially if we get to our final. Then you're going to have all these equations to choose from. So really quickly, V still measured most typically in meters per second. Especially for this unit, we're going to keep it to meters per second. Frequency is hertz, which hertz is also called the number of waves per second. It's another way of saying hertz. And lastly, the wavelength itself is going to be measured in meters. So that's how you get your meters per second. I know it doesn't quite cancel out. The number of waves just kind of disappears, and you take on the meters per second when you go over. So it's not a perfect canceling out, but it does work pretty good. Looks like I did run out of time. If you want me to run through the triangle method for these other equations from the motion test, we'll probably do that before as a review for the final. And sign up for Flex if you need some extra help getting to these different versions. But I got trust in you, and we'll do some practice in class with this equation, of course. That should help you out. Thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day.